Okay, so last time we were here, we were watching the Cowboys lose. I thought maybe I'd wait until the Cowboys won again to do another one, but then I realized we might not get to do one all year. So here we go. Multiplying, dividing, fractions with washing machines in the background. I think it's super loud. Okay, here we go. Multiplying fractions. Remember, first thing you need two improper fractions. Or regular fractions would be even better, but in this case, neither of these are proper fractions, so we're going to need to make them improper. 5 is a fraction. Any whole number we can rewrite as fraction by putting it over 1. Okay? Mixed numbers. You take the whole number, part of it, multiply it by the denominator, because 3 wholes for the 6's would give you 18. 6. Add that to the 5 you already have. So 18 plus 5 is 23 over 6 is going to stay your denominator. Here are two fractions. 5 over 1, 23 over 6. From here, we just go straight across. So 5 times 23 is 115. 6 times 1 is 6. Alright? Oh, and this was negative, so that makes this whole thing negative. Positive times a negative, always negative. If you wanted to take this a step further, turn this back into a mixed number, because this looks kind of terrible. If we divide this out, 6 will go into 11 5 times. Oh, whoa, not 5 times. Definitely not. 1 time. 1 times 6 is 6. 11 minus 6 is 5. Bring down the 5. 6 goes into 55. 9 times. This would be 54 with 1 left over. What this means, it means 19 is the whole number part of our answer. Because if we wanted to keep going, we'd have to have a decimal, a couple zeros, but we don't want decimals, we want fractions here. So we're going to say this is 19 is the whole number. And this remainder that's left over is our new numerator. So that's one part out of what it always was. It was 6. It's going to stay 6. And that's still negative. It's 19, 1, 6, negative. This kind of makes sense if we look at our original problem. If we did 5 times and we rounded this off, so negative 3 and 5, 6, that's pretty close to negative 4. And 5 times negative 4 would be negative 20. So we know it should have been close to negative 20. And sure enough, it is. So if you put either of these answers, you'd be good to go. Alright? Soup break. Eat some soup. Not from good soup. Alright, number 2. Dividing. Dividing. Same idea. One extra step. We don't ever... Oh, you know what? Before we do that, we need fractions, not mixed numbers. So we have negative 8 over 9 over here. 3 and 2/3. This is going to be 9 plus 2 more. 9 plus 2 is 11, so it's going to be 11 over 3, and the whole thing's negative. We don't actually want to divide fractions, and we're going to look at that next. So what we say is we multiply by the reciprocal instead. So we keep this first number. This gets to still be 8/9. We're going to change division into multiplication. And we're going to take the reciprocal. We're going to flip this number over. So instead of 11 over 3, we're going to say this is 3 over 11. Okay? From here, since now we're just multiplying, we can go straight across. 8 and 3 makes 24. 9 and 11 makes 99. Negative times a negative becomes positive, so it's going to be positive 24 over 99. This is correct, but we can simplify it. We say, what can we divide both of these numbers by? Well, we can divide them both by 3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. 99 divided by 3 is 33. Okay. Not so bad. Not so bad. I was trying to think of a Jay-Z joke to go with that, but I couldn't. I don't have anything today. Sorry. Come up with one on your own. Put it in the comments. Love fun. 8 over 20 or 33 is your answer. Good job. Soup break. Okay. So why does this work? Why can we take the reciprocal and multiply? Well, let's look at something super easy. 4 divided by 2. We know the answer is 2. Okay. What if we turn this into fractions? This is 4 over 1 divided by 2 over 1. Let's say we didn't want to divide that. Let's take the reciprocal and multiply. So we say 4 over 1 multiplied by 1 over 2. So what we end up with is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. If we simplify that, look at that, we get 2. Either way, we do it. So why do we multiply when we could divide? Because when we multiply, if you multiply a whole number by a whole number, you always get a whole number. That's not the case with dividing. In this case it did because these numbers were super easy. What about something like this? If we divided this out, if we divided straight across, 11 divided by 5 is actually 2.2, and 16 divided by, or 12 divided by 6 is 2. So this is the correct answer, and this is actually 1.1 over 1 if you simplified it, or just 1.1. But but we don't want decimals in our fractions because that looks terrible. And plus, dividing and getting decimals, you usually have to work this out, and that's just more work. So if we were to rewrite this and say 11 over 12 times the reciprocal here, so times 6 over 5. Now we're going to get all whole numbers. We're going to get 11 times 6 is 66. 12 times 5 is 60. And we can divide this out. We get 11 over 10 if we simplify that more. Or 1 in 1/10. Or, put some equal signs in here. I think I just burped. Sorry if you heard that. And we get 1.1. So we still get the same answer, but more times than not, multiplying by the reciprocal is going to give you much better numbers than you would if you just tried to divide. Okay? So there you go. So there's multiplying and dividing fractions. Extended soup break, go.